always interesting when you're out here doing this stuff by yourself. But that's what makes it fun. It was easy, everybody do it. Come on, guy, get in there. Nice fish. Well, good morning, folks. Standing out here on beautiful Lake Winnebago today. Got an absolutely beautiful morning. I figure I'd get out here for a couple hours before my trip this afternoon. We're going to go over another thing I've had a bunch of questions on, and that is trolling structure, around structure. So that's what we're going to do for a couple hours. Hopefully we catch some fish. We've got a nice breeze. It's not super windy, but we definitely got a nice breeze. Just going to kind of go through my setup with you, how I get set up, how I fish the structure, the baits I'm using, and yeah, other than that, yeah, it's going to be a nice morning. Got the Goomba out here with me again. There she is, my supervisor, my hero, sitting there enjoying life. It's a nice, beautiful morning, cool. So I figured I'd bring her out for a couple hours. And yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Please click on that subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. I really appreciate it. I know it takes a few seconds to do that, but I really do appreciate it when you click on that subscribe button, click the like button. Leave any comments down below, what you want to see, anything else. I'll put links down below of all the products that I'm using. And until next time on the water, tight lines. I don't know if this is the species that we're looking for, but we're hooked up nonetheless. So yeah, whenever I'm doing this by myself, as I'm taking the board off, just make sure to keep that line tight in my hand. Basically just extend that line out to keep it tight, and then start reeling. A lot of people ask me that too. They're like, how do you do it by yourself? Well, that's how I do it by myself. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see what we got on here. Oh, nice white bass. We're not keeping any fish this morning, but if I was going to keep some fish for dinner tonight, this would definitely qualify as a perfect eater size white bass, that's for sure. This could be the flavor we're looking for. So walleye, we might actually need the net on this one. It's coming in like a walleye, that's for sure. Oh yeah, nice walleye. Yeah, we're definitely gonna need the net on this guy. And of course, you don't have the net ready when you need it. Because why would you? Why would you? It's always interesting when you're out here doing this stuff by yourself. But that's what makes it fun. It was easy, everybody do it. Come on, guy, get in there. Nice fish. Nice 17 incher. Exactly what we're looking for. Thanks, buddy. Right here. All right. Ego net, Ego slider. Fantastic net. Love it. I know a lot of you guys have asked me about it. So yeah, so basically when I'm trolling structure on Winnebago, first thing I always do, whether I'm trolling structure or I'm out trolling in the mud, I'm always graphing everything first. Using my side scan, using my electronics. We spend enough money on these electronics, folks, you gotta use them. And there's no sense in fishing for fish that aren't there. So I'm always using my electronics, putting in some waypoints where there's some fish. You know, and if you got a big pot of fish sitting on a certain point on the structure, you know, instead of trolling to them, you know, that's when you get out the casting rods. Today the fish are a little more scattered, and we don't, like I said, we don't have a ton of wind today. So yeah, so basically I just went through, put in some waypoints where I saw some fish on my electronics, and set up my trolling paths accordingly to where knew I was going to hit the waypoints. So that's basically how I like to troll structure. Sometimes they're shallow on the structure, sometimes they're on the deep edges of the structure. It really depends on wind, the time of the day, water clarity makes a huge difference. All those things are key factors. I prefer, myself, I like running the 4.5 Salmos. They got a little bit deeper of a depth curve chart than a regular number 4 Salmo. Although there are days I do run the number 4s. You know, colors definitely make a difference. You know, some days it's purples, some days it's Dalmatian, some days it's chrome baits, especially your sunny days. The chrome baits seem to shine, but not always. So I always like to put out, you know, a variety of colors. Don't ever fish memories. Go out there, put a little variety of stuff out there of what has worked in the past, and see what they're preferring any given day. And yeah, like today, they're actually on the deeper edges of the structure. You know, so I'm running these baits, you know, about 10 feet down, which is quite a bit of line on these Salmos, but it's hard to snap weight. Salmos, when you're fishing structure, you're going to lose a lot of weights, you're going to snag a lot, because you know, you're not always going to be, it's not like the structure is set up to where it's just a perfect 8-foot contour. You know, goes from 10 feet to 6 feet to 11 feet, and you know, and everything in between. So, but yeah, that's basically how I do it. I'm going to go through some more things as this hour and a half or so goes on that I've got time to be out here and do this for you guys. Hope you guys get something from this video. And until next time on the water, tight lines. We are hooked up. Don't think it's overly big, but it's a fish nonetheless. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit, which is a good thing. A few floating weeds like normal. That's nothing unusual, that's for sure, especially when you're trolling. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got today. Nice fish. 15-incher. Maybe should have kept some fish for the dinner table tonight. Nice 15-incher. Beautiful fish. So one other thing I wanted to go over, which I know I've touched base on in the past, is rod and reel choice. So I use the Razor rods, telescopic trolling rods, made in America, lifetime warranty on the rods. Absolutely fantastic rods. I use the SCHEELS Outfitter line counter reels. These are the size 15s. I also use the Low Pros. The Low Pros are wonderful for storage. Not that these are overly big anymore either, but obviously storage is always at a premium in every boat. You can check those out at SCHEELS. Yep, bugs, you know, normal. Right on the old camera lens, or on the eye lens where they normally are at. And yeah, I use 14-pound Berkeley XL. I know all of the dive charts out there are based on the diameter of 10 pound XT, but 14 pound XL has the same line diameter, and it comes off the reel a little bit nicer, doesn't develop memory quite as much, and you're gaining a few pounds of strength, which is wonderful. And then of course accompanying that with an offshore planer board. So got it set up, I know we've gone over before. Release clip on the front, the OR18 on the back, so that's where you never lose a board. You're never shuffling boards around, which is wonderful. And other than that, that's the basic setup that I use for trolling all the time. So we're going to set up on our next pass here. Hopefully we get a few more fish for the video. I'm going to go over a couple more things about trolling structure. And until next time on the water, tight lines. There we go, hooked up. Let's give it a little pop to release it. And we'll see what we got on the end of the line. At least this time I got my net ready. Just in case it's a walleye. You never know when you're fishing the reefs. I mean, everything is on these reefs. Sheephead, white bass, perch. You never know what you're gonna get. What do we got? Yep, I had a sneaky suspicion that that was probably a drum, but that's all right. Where there's drum, there's walleyes, so one thing I always tell people, if you're not catching drum, you're probably not catching walleyes. So one other tip I do want to give you, that's super important when you're fishing structure, and this is going to save you bait, save you money, is every time I reel these lines in, always check that bottom foot of your lead. Always, just because everything is zebra mussels, rocks, obviously when you're fishing this structure. And I've seen a lot of baits get lost, a lot of fish break off. So make sure you're checking it. You're still, I mean, when you're fishing structure, obviously, you know, it's going to happen. You're going to lose baits. It's just part of it. It's part of fishing structure. You know, you're going to get hung up once in a while, especially if you get in a little bit too shallow, which does happen. So, other than that, until next time on the water, tight lines. Hooked up. I don't know what we got this time, but we got something. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we have? Huh. Well, they are starting to show up, so I figured we'd start catching them trolling once in a while. Nice jumbo perch. Nice fish. Maybe we should have kept some fish for a fish fry tonight. Trolling around structure, even trolling out the basin. You know, probably a nice 10, 11 inch perch. A lot of guys perch fishing would love to have that fish right now. Well, hooked up again. This guy ain't gonna quite cut the mustard, but he looks good for the future. See you, buddy. Nice gradual pullback. Should be the right species. Oh no, he's still there. Yep. Nice little walleye. Thought he popped off, but he didn't. Nice 14 incher, maybe 13 incher. Definitely not a giant, but by any stretch of the imagination. He gets a free pass today, so. Well, how's it going, folks? Back here at the shop after a fun couple hours out on the water this morning with the pooch. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I got a lot of questions on, how I troll structure, how I set up on the structure, what I'm looking for when I'm trolling structure. So I hope you got some good information out of that video. I know it was pretty short. I didn't have a ton of time, and then of course the wind died down and it got hot, so the dog and heat do not go well together. So anyway, but yeah, always graph wherever you're fishing first. Always, always, always. That is numero uno, most important thing. Don't just set up and troll where you think there's fish. Use your electronics, put in waypoints, set up your trolling path, and then troll. That is probably the most, if you took anything away from that video, that would be the most important thing by far. You just can't just go out and drop in lines and just start trolling randomly, because your trolling success rate is definitely not going to be as good if you take the little bit of time that it takes to set up, put the waypoints in, graph it, use your side scan, use your down scan, use your regular 2D sonar, whatever you're using, whatever you're comfortable with using, and put in the waypoints, set up your path, and then go back and set up a pass and troll through those waypoints. One other thing I did not touch on the water is, if you're trolling an area like today, we started out, we had a nice wind, the fish were set up on a certain part of the structure, the wind died, and all of a sudden I'm partway through our second pass and I'm noticing I'm not seeing the fish on the electronics where they were. So as I'm going through with my electronics and I'm seeing them on my side scan, I'm adjusting my waypoints because the fish were moving as the conditions were changing. Another very important thing. But yeah, other than that, getting set up with a good rod, the Razor rods, made in the USA, lifetime warranty. Why ever have to buy another trolling rod? Go out, get yourself some Razor rods. The Telescopics are phenomenal. I love them. They also make the non-telescopics. I love those too. So whatever you really prefer. The 8-foot Telescopics are just a fantastic rod. They're great for storage. Like I said, lifetime warranty. Everything on that rod is made in the USA, with the exception of the cork on the handle comes from Portugal. Right out of Illinois, local, buy American, use American. It doesn't get much more local than Illinois, just our neighbor to the south. So next thing, offshore planer boards. Michigan, another close neighbor, made in the USA, made in the USA, made in the USA. And then yeah, Salmos. Like I said, I like running the 4.5s. I like the rattles in them. They seem to hold up a little bit better too on the rocks. Not everybody carries those 4.5 Salmos. I know SCHEELS has them. I know Corey at Fishtails started carrying 4.5s this year. Get yourself some 4.5s. The dive curve is a little bit deeper than the 4s. The profile is just a touch bigger than the 4s, but I really believe that rattle has a lot to do with putting more fish in the boat. And lastly, which I did not touch on in the video either, lure lipstick. Anytime I'm trolling, casting plastics, blade baits, whatever, I know I've touched on it here and there on videos. I haven't done it on every video like I probably should, because it always is used in my boat. Always, always. This tube is fantastic. It literally is like a lipstick tube. You open it up, put some of it on your bait, whether it's your blade bait, your crankbait, your plastic, whatever. They do make a soft bait enhancer too, which is like a gel spray, which works great too. Yep, you can go right online, lurelipstick.com, get this stuff. They make some fantastic plastics too. I'm going to be doing some plastic shows here in the near future as well. They got some new paddle tails that they just came out with that I can't wait to get all in the water, especially once I head up to Green Bay. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please take a minute to subscribe to my channel. I know it takes just a little bit of time to do that, but it helps me out a ton. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing you guys yelling at me out on the water that you're enjoying the videos and seeing you at the boat ramps. It's just been a lot of fun. So I'm glad you guys are getting some use out of these videos and some great info out of these videos. Don't ever be afraid to message me. I'm on all of the social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, you know, obviously my YouTube channel, Facebook, Burnsy's Guide Service. Message me. If you're looking to get out on the water and you need some help reading your electronics, or, you know, a little more in-depth, I guess, one-on-one, or, you know, one-on-two people, if you want 2 people in your boat, I mean, I'll climb in your boat as well. Humminbird is definitely my wheelhouse. I have quite a bit of familiarity with Garmin as well. The other brands out there, I can't say I can help you a ton with. You know, I'm somewhat familiar with them, but Humminbird is definitely my sweet spot. And yeah, other than that, it was a great day out on the water. Goomba's laying next to me down there taking a nap. And yeah, other than that, like I said, next time, till I see you next time out on the water, tight lines.